Know your finances. You must be financially stable. When you are not financially stable, it makes it easier to engage in emotionally disruptive relationships. So that means you need to look at, where do you have a savings investment plan, pay off debt. You should not think about a relationship when you are in thousands and thousands and thousands of debt. If you have bad credit, going into a relationship is not going to solve that personal problem that you have. You still got to resolve it. And most men tend to be a lot better at money. They don't have a whole bunch of credit cards and things like that. They like to pay everything in cash. And if you are bad with money and you need credit cards, and you like to be in debt, that's going to be a problem in the relationship, right? Purchase life insurance, plan for the little transitions and setbacks. That's something that I struggled with. Beginning at April 2013 is when I established my 7-year plan. That is the first time I established a 7-year plan, but that was due to the fact that I was homeless, and I was coming out of that situation, and I said, I just cannot do this anymore. What is going to be my plan? And so I knew that anything of worth is going to take time. And I knew that 7 in the Bible is the number for completion. So I said, I'm going to establish a 7-year plan. And the goal was to change my economy. That I was in student loan debt, of course. I didn't have a lot of credit card debt, but I did have something. But I didn't have my own place. I wasn't sure if I can get back into teaching. I was able to in 2013, but I was below the poverty line. If you are living in a shelter, or even living on your friend's couch, you are homeless. I don't care if that person has a nice house or whatever. I don't care. If you are living with family, that's homeless. So I knew that if I was going to change my economy status, my financial status, that I needed a plan. And I knew that I needed to develop products and services in order to accomplish that. And I knew I needed to get back into the job field, which I was able to do. And the lack of planning and planning for transitioning and setbacks and things like that just really has its root. And when I first graduated from high school, when I graduated from college, I could hold down a job, finish school or whatever, but I did not plan for the exit. That I knew eventually I was going to, leave high school, but I was thinking that the job I was on was going to keep me on. So I didn't have another plan. I knew I was going to, graduate from college. Of course, I cannot be a, perpetual student without some kind of goal in mind to like apply knowledge. But I didn't plan for that transition. So that lack of planning for transitions and then getting into setback has sort of followed me for a while. And in April 2013 is when I changed my trajectory, I guess, if that's the word, where I changed my path. It's time to get back on a path that is focused with stability and direction. Grow in your career. So if you are still making $25,000 a year after 10, 15 years in that career, something is going on. You're not growing. You should be advancing. I'm not saying they're going to jump from $25,000 to $50,000. I'm not saying that, but you should be advancing. That you should be able to look at your past income checks or whatever and look at the difference. I knew the difference from when I started back working, what I made, and then the full year of being on that job, what I made, and then going forward, what I'm making now. Create a side hustle or turn that hobby into a second income. So in 2013, I went back to work. I was able to get back on with teaching. And I still established a 7-year plan, but it was in 2014 that I got the idea for Rebound Girl. And that was as a result of breaking up with my ex and saying to myself, I got to figure out what's going on with me, because I keep choosing the exact same type of person. And you choosing that same type of person, same situation, will affect your finances, because he was able to save money, but I didn't, because I'm so preoccupied with him and helping him that I'm not covering myself. And I learned that, and I said I need to come up with something. So I began to journal just a lengthy paragraph about the activities in that relationship, and then I printed it out and looked at it, and I said, this looks like the beginnings of a book or something. And so I'm good at sort of looking at something and interpreting it something and saying there's value there. So I separated the paragraph, and I separated that long paragraph into many paragraphs or sentences, and I said, this looks like maybe chapters. And so I started to place that content in different areas in my Microsoft Word, and then I started to fill out the content. And then after that, I researched rebound relationships in the scholarship literature, right? And then it took me in different directions, and then I wrote that book, and I finished it somewhere in 2015, and then I wrote all the other books, and everything was completed by a little before 2016. And so now that hobby of writing, and then of course my gift and talent for teaching, is now going to turn into a second income. Now I am more concerned about covering myself instead of covering everybody else, and it's now going to help me with my finances, change my economy, etc.